biggest mistakes we as adults can make is fail to discern the difference between normal, natural, and necessary conflict and bullying. We have to teach our young people they're going to have conflicts. Next time your children fight, first thing I want you to say is they're normal. Children who do not fight grow up to make lousy spouses who won't enter into conflict. Keep the peace. Let it go. Don't. I want young people to know that getting along with other human beings will imply that there are times you disagree. And we have to teach them how to disagree, how to be in conflict nonviolently. But we make the mistake of taking our tools for handling conflict and using those to stop bullying. You see, conflicts need to be resolved. Bullying has to be stopped. Bullying is a conscious, willful, deliberate activity intended to harm where you get pleasure from somebody else's pain. It's turning that other human being into an it. That's why name calling is such a deadly part of bullying. The verbal portion of verbal, physical, and relational bullying that kids can do. And when we normalize that, then kids learn from us that it's okay to be mean and cruel to another human being. So I ask you, how do you treat hired help? How do you treat somebody moving through the grocery store slower than you'd like them to? How do you treat the new neighbor who looks different? English is not their first language. They smell different because of their diet. They have different cultural traditions. Your children are watching. And how do you treat that bigoted relative at the family gathering? Can your children hear you saying, I'm bothered by that, when everybody else rolls their eyes and say, what, can't you take a joke? Not that kind. And you know you've had an impact on your children and your relatives when you walk back in and everybody shuts up. And your mother says, you know, it's Uncle George, give him a break, he's old. Old is no excuse for mean and cruel. And our children, if we're going to ask them to stand up in the lunchroom or in the locker room for another human being who's being demeaned, then you and I have to be willing to do the same thing and say, that was mean, that was cruel. And when Mom says, please, he's old, now what he said was bigoted or racist. Your children see you standing up and it being uncomfortable for you, but you're still willing to do it. And when we say, oh, boys will be boys, girls just want to be mean, it's part of growing up, we are diminishing the ugliness that bullying is, and we can't do that. You resolve conflict, you stop bullying, and it's high time we as adults become better role models for our young people. And then, if any of them are targeting another human being, that we too are that fourth character, that brave-hearted person, regardless of the status, social status of the child that's being mean and cruel, regardless of the gender, regardless of where they're coming from. If they're being mean and cruel, they need to be stopped. You're also saying to the other kids that you don't have to be a party to this, and you're saying to the targeted kid that what they did was not right.